Ms. Graham, you are here to prove to your on-again, off-again fiancé, Mr. Scott, that your 4-year-old daughter, Taylor, is his biological child. You say his paternity denial is destroying your relationship and you need today's results to save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Scott, you state that the timeline for conception does not add up, so you can't be Taylor's father. You say your engagement is on the line and you want the truth. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Graham, you say you need today's results to save your relationship. Tell the court why.
Basically, we're planning a wedding and we're getting in arguments every day about the paternity. He knows he's the father. He's knew since I've told him several times that he's the father and he still tries to deny it. And I just want this resolved today.
Mr.
Your
Scott?
Honor, I am not the father. Look at her nose, look at her eyes, look at her ears. I am not the father. Your Honor, I asked her for a test over and over again.
Okay, but take me back. How did we get to the point where, okay, will you marry me? Yes, I will. But we need a DNA test. I mean, how do we get from being engaged and being happy, planning a wedding, to all of a sudden this DNA thing looming over our heads?
Because I want to move on with it, but not if Taylor Rose is not my daughter. I don't want to move on with it.
So if Taylor's not your biological child, you're not getting married?
Hell no.
What happened during this on-off thing that produced this paternity question?
It was him. I know the night that I conceived. I definitely know the night I conceived. We went down to Orlando. We got a room. We had sex for about a week, nonstop. He knows exactly which weekend I'm talking about.
Your Honor, that's
It's like after I got pregnant, like I said, he just flipped the script.
Your Honor.
Were you engaged during then?
Yeah, no, we were engaged before then.
All right, so you engaged before then?
Yes, once I told him I was pregnant, that's when the issues came up.
But why if you gonna marry her anyway?
Right.
Your Honor, I found out that she was pregnant prior to her telling me. The reason how I found out was when I went back into the house, I was searching through paperwork, cleaning up, and when I cleaned up, I saw something from the doctor's office, and it said that she was like 6 weeks pregnant, and we only been back together for like 2 weeks. So how is it possible that Taylor Rose is my daughter?
Okay, so now I understand what's happening. You all were on this on and off again thing.
Yes.
When you got back together, you at home, some mail comes, you see it on the table, you read it, and you see, oh, she's pregnant.
Right.
But 6 to 7 weeks pregnant.
Right.
When you count back, you're saying we were off then and not having sex then.
We was way off then, Your Honor, way off.
So when you saw it, what did you do with the information?
I didn't say anything to her about the paperwork until she approached me about being pregnant.
So what happened when you approached him, Ms. Graham? What did you say?
I approached him because this was like my first time being pregnant. This is my first child. So of course I was a little scared. I didn't know what my options were. So after I told him, I'm expecting him to be excited. And he just, oh, that's not my child. Like, it was just like a big mess. The one person in the world who I was expecting to embrace this turned into my enemy.
Mr. Scott is saying that during the window of time when this baby would have been conceived, you all were on the out. Just because you were still having sex with him doesn't, of course, change the fact that you could have been having sex with somebody else. Was there someone else that you were dating or seeing?
Not before I was pregnant, no.
But after you were pregnant, there was?
Yes.
So who were you with when you gave birth to Taylor?
He came up to the hospital. He caused a dramatic scene.
What happened at the hospital?
He cursed me out. He said how he was never going to sign that birth certificate because my daughter wasn't a twin. He knew that the child was not his. I'm a cheating.
At the hospital when you just had the baby?
I just had my child.
That's not 100% true.
The security had to remove him.
No, I left on my own, Your Honor.
So wait a minute, Mr. Scott, you went up, you looked at the baby and just got infuriated and enraged?
I did, Your Honor.
Basically.
What I'm trying to understand is that, were you there for the actual birth? As like, this is my child? So you weren't. You came up there after.
And I honestly feel like, even though he tried to deny this, I really feel like he came up there
She didn't even call and tell me that she was in the hospital and had the baby.
I didn't want that stress.
I had to find out from someone else.
I did not want that stress. And I was right.
What stress?
I was right. He came up there and he did every single thing that I knew he was going to do, which is why I did not call him. I didn't tell him at all.
Your Honor, she did call me and she said, "You are not the father." That's her exact word.
I did not know.
When was this?
Your Honor.
Did you call him and tell him he's not the father?
No, that's not.
And that's why I came to the hospital angry.
When did she call and tell you you were not the father?
It might have been a day after she had Taylor, and that's the day that I went there that security supposedly escorted me off.
Did you tell him, Ms. Graham, he was not the father?
No, not at all, Your Honor.
She did, Your Honor.
So when she told you you're not the father, you came up there anyway?
Right.
Why?
She even told the people at the desk not to let me back if I was to come up there.
Well, she's admitting to that because you said what? You didn't want the stress.
Yes.
So if that's my daughter, why can't I come to the hospital?
When it comes to 4-year-old Taylor Graham, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Scott, you are not the father.
Thank you, Your Honor. I already knew I wasn't.
Jerome, can you go see if you can try to get Miss Graham?
Could I speak with her for a moment?
No, just let her have a minute. Let her have a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
You ain't got to get all silly.
Yes, ma'am.
If you know something in your heart, and that's what you truly feel, you stand respectfully as a man, you just get the result. Miss Graham?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, obviously, the part of this story wasn't true.
There were some details that were not. But in a way, Your Honor, I'm, from the bottom of my heart, happy that I really don't have to pull up with this foolishness.
Your Honor, I still look at Taylor as my child, and I still want to be in her life, but not in Renata's life.
You don't have to be, because you're not her biological father. And so at this point, you need to reach out to the person you believe is.
That's it.
Is that your ex?
Oh, please don't do that.
Miss Graham, is that your ex?
It is.
Miss Gregory, you say just 2 weeks ago the defendant called off your engagement due to paternity doubts surrounding your son, Carson.
Yes, Your Honor.
You have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove Mr. Elston is the father and hope the results will save your family. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Elston, you and your sister state you are certain you are not her child's father and say her ex is Carson's biological father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Gregory, how important is it to save your family today?
It's very important for me to save my family because I feel that my kids, both of them, my unborn child and Carson, deserves their father. And I feel that we got engaged in May. He broke up with me 2 weeks ago because of paternity issues. So I feel that we need to get this all cleared up.
And so you broke off the engagement, Mr. Elston, because of this entire paternity saga?
Yes, Your Honor. It was, people calling me and texting me, telling me that, she's cheating or either somebody's in the driveway. I work out of town, and I'm like, I do stuff like I send people over there to check on her just to make sure she's not doing nothing. And, multiple people told me that they caught her ex in the driveway, caught his car there.
Your Honor, I'm actually the one who caught her ex in the driveway. My brother was out of town. He's a hardworking man. He works to take care of Carson, Carly, and the unborn child. And he called me. He told me to go to the house and check on Carly and Carson. And I did. When I rode by there, her ex's truck was there. So I called my brother and I told him.
Was your ex's truck there, Miss Gregory?
No, Your Honor, my ex lives like 4 states away.
So whose truck was it?
I live in apartments. I'm not exactly sure what truck she's talking about.
Really? You're not sure? Are you sure that you're not sure?
I'm not sure.
So, Miss Gregory, take me back to the day you found out you were pregnant.
It was in June. I had went to the health department to get on birth control. They said you were already pregnant, but I did not know how far along I was. So I had to go to my OBGYN. They told me I was 3 months along. He went with me to my first appointment because he did not believe me because, you know, he had a girlfriend. He thought I was just trying to break them up. And then after that, he had nothing to do with me the whole pregnancy.
So once he came to the doctor, found out you were pregnant, you never saw him again?
No, we text like 2 weeks after that, and that's about it.
And so when you had Carson, was Mr. Elston at the hospital?
He came to the hospital the second day. I had to have an emergency C-section, so I was in the hospital for 5 days. He came the second and begged for me to give Carson his last name when we was not talking the whole pregnancy. I told him, you can sign the birth certificate, but you cannot give my son your last name right now.
No, Your Honor, I went to the hospital. You know, I walked in the hospital all happy, you know, because I was expecting to be my first child. Like, I walked in all happy and like, I get in the hospital room, I go get the baby from her, like, we sit down, take a picture, and I looked at her
Your
real
exact
closely.
words was, he's too white.
And Your
That's
Honor,
exactly what he said.
the baby didn't look like me. He don't have my nose, my ears, my eyes, or nothing. And I just got up and gave her the baby, and I walked out.
Your Honor.
Really?
My brother, Your Honor, my brother has 2 other children, and
That he does not take care of.
from the beginning,
I take
when
care of
both
my
of his
children,
baby
Your Honor.
mothers had the baby, from the beginning, they both came out looking just like my brother.
Okay, but this child has a different mother, so potentially the child would look differently.
But the baby don't look like me. I mean,
And Your
You can
Honor,
see
he brought
clearly.
he brought a girl pacifier. My son, it's a son. I have a son. He brought a girl pacifier, and I would not accept it because I'm not fixing to give my baby a girl pacifier with Care Bears on it. And he got mad because of that.
Okay. Y'all about one step from Care Bears yourself.
Right.
And that's the problem. So at some point, you decide to get back together because you got engaged.
Right.
How did that happen?
3 weeks after I had Carson, he started coming around more. So we ended up getting into a relationship. We got engaged, and we was doing good. And then I got pregnant in June. So I'm pregnant now, and he just doubts this baby, and more doubts are coming up from Carson. People are telling him things about this baby is not his. He's asking me for an unborn DNA test and stuff because he doesn't trust me.
Well, Your Honor, if she didn't post things on Facebook that made my brother feel otherwise, it wouldn't be any doubt.
Things like what?
She's actually posted a picture with another dude around the time she was supposed to be pregnant by my brother.
and Your Honor,
Actually, have
You
the picture.
submitted that photo to the court?
Yes.
Oh, so this is the picture.
Who is that, Carly? Ain't that
That's
your ex?
I got pregnant in March. That photo was taken in April. We were still together, but we broke up. Me and him had no sexual relationships in March.
well, Your Honor, when I was out of town working, I was on top of the tower, and my phone had vibrated, and I looked at it, and her friend that was over at the house, she texted me and said, "Have you talked to Carly today?" And I said, "No, why?" And she was like, "Well, she's in there laid up with another guy, and I'm in the living room."
You went to the doctor in June and found out you were 3 months pregnant. All right? Count back, and it says the month of conception would be March. You say you were intimate only with Mr. Elston at that time.
Yes, Your
Which
Honor.
is why you are certain he is Carson's biological father. You also admit that you had sex with your ex, who was then your boyfriend, in February. And is he the only person you had sex with in February?
No, Your Honor.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. She forgot
Well,
to
who
mention
else
the part
did you
about
have
her.
sex with?
My friend's boyfriend.
Your Honor, actually, it was on more than one occasion. One of the times they had a threesome.
How did you have sex with your friend's
It
boyfriend?
was on Valentine's Day. We had a threesome. She knew about it.
So you had a threesome on Valentine's Day. I don't know what to even put, just a 3, Jerome?
I'd say a 3 and circle it.
Well, you don't put a heart, because it clearly ain't love. So on February 14th, you had a threesome with your friend's boyfriend, and then you were also sexually active with your ex
Yes, Your Honor.
So let's just move on. When it comes to 20-month-old Carson Gregory, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Elston, you are not the father. I'm sorry, Mr. Elston, you are not Carson's biological father.
Yeah, and I put myself in a situation where I thought I could trust her, and I deserve better. And I'm not gonna give up on him if that's what she thinks.
So, Miss Gregory, I know this is not the news you wanted either. And I've been tough on you today because I knew you weren't telling the whole truth. Is his father the ex, or is it from the threesome?
I'm not sure.
Look at me. That was honest. I know you are not proud of yourself, but in this moment, I'm proud that you finally just had the courage to tell the truth. Miss Sanchez, you say today's DNA results mean everything. You are spiritually married to the defendant, but claim his denial that he fathered your 8-month-old son has stopped him from legally marrying you. You need paternity proof to save this relationship. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Turman, you doubt you are Jordan's father and say your marriage is not a real legal marriage, and it won't be unless Ms. Sanchez stops lying to you. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Sanchez, why is today's result so important to you?
It's important to me to save my marriage with my husband because this has gone on for 2 years of accusations and lies, and the fact that he doesn't trust me. It's very hurtful, and it means a lot to me today that we prove once and for all that he's the father of my son and put it all to bed after this.
Why are you here, Mr. Turman?
I'm here because, like she said, we got married, but I couldn't go through with it because there's too many trust issues. And I feel like if you don't have trust, you can't go forward with the relationship, and I don't believe he's mine. So I want to find out.
So this paternity question literally has your marriage, your legal marriage, on hold. Did you ever get any physical evidence that Ms. Sanchez was with someone else?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. So we went to the grocery store. And we came back. So I go to the trunk to get the groceries or whatever, and I find men's boxers in the trunk. Now, I know for sure these aren't mine. I'm like, whose are these? These are not mine.
What?
So
Jerome, I don't even know if I want to see that evidence, though. You want to go get it?
They wash it? Yeah, I'll get it.
Ooh! You know I'm a germaphobe. Put it on this pen. Exhibit A. Men's boxers. Miss Sanchez, how did these men's boxer shorts get in your trunk?
Okay, because I had done laundry at my family member's house. I have male family members, and that's a lie because there was more than just one thing of boxers. There was socks in there. There was all kinds of random stuff in there.
I didn't see it.
I'm sure you didn't.
But a whole pair of men's boxer shorts is the one thing in your trunk out of all the laundry?
That's an unfortunate coincidence. But
Gotcha.
that's exactly what happened. That's it. That's it.
And then after all this, you find out you're pregnant.
Not exactly that way. He took me to Vegas for my birthday. And on that trip is when we had sex again, unprotected. And I know for a fact that I conceived October 20th. That's my birthday. So that...
In Vegas. On October 20th. So how is this doubt eating away at you. Jordan is 8 months old, beautiful baby. You're supposed to be happy and buying little toys and tickling feet. And how is this doubt eating away at you?
I mean, I'm doing all those things like you said, but a lot of the arguments that we have come from this situation. So it just causes a lot of fights between us, and it causes us not to be able to move forward with our relationship. And then there was another situation where I was going to go out with my friend. She didn't want me to. I went out anyways. The next day we had a talk and she was upset and she was like, well, you don't need to come to the hospital because he's not yours. We're good.
What?
Yeah, she's like, we're good. We don't need you. Don't come to the hospital. He's not yours.
Miss Sanchez, after all that, you ring that bell?
I know the things that get under his skin, and in those moments of tension, and I'm trying to hurt him, I'm trying to upset him, I know exactly what to say that's gonna upset him, and I knew that would be the number one thing. That's not right, nor was it true, but that's what I said.
But Miss Sanchez, I mean, come on now. You've stood here and testified how desperately you want your child to have a life you didn't have. Now you got this man getting videos of you. You admittedly is still on Tinder, having open conversation with folks and meeting folks because you didn't think you were exclusive. You got boxers in your trunk, and now you admittedly say you aren't the father, this child isn't yours. How do you think you could overcome all of that doubt? You really just put the needle on the haystack with that. In the case of Turman versus Sanchez, when it comes to 9-month-old Jordan Turman, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Turman, you are the father.
Yes.
You are the father. That is your son.
That's amazing. That's important to me because, like I said, our love is amazing. What we've grown to become is nothing like we started. So this is just allowing us to keep moving forward.